Obutto bw'entebe bwatandika okukozesebwa emyaka kasanvu emabega era nga bwalabibwa mu mawanga ag'enjawulo okusingira ddala Egypt. Amaka agaabeerangamu obutto buno gaatwalibwa okubeera ag'abannaggagga. Buno bwakolebwanga mu bibumbe by'oku bisenge kubanga engoye ebiseera ebyo zaalinga za buseere. Mu senchari eya20, obutto buno bwatandika okukozesebwa kumpi mu buli maka wadde mwavu oba mugagga era bwalabibwa nga bweyambisibwa n'abo abagenda ku ngendo ez'amaanyi okusobola okutereeza ensingo zaabwe. Ebiro bino buli maka g'omuntu obutto buno busangibwamu era kati kitwalibwa nti kya bulijjo. Okukola obutto bwo awaka y'emu ku ngeri y'okusobola okutereka ensimbi nga kw'ogase n'okunyumisa ennyumba yo. Olumu oyinza okugula obutto buno okuva mu matundiro gaabwo, naye kino kiyinza okukuleetera obutasobola kufuna ky'oyagala. Omulabi waffe omulungi owa Smart 24 TV webali kutweyungako nate ate olunaku olwaleero era wano ku kanyomero kaffe aka SKILLUP. Olunaku luno olwaleero twagala ate tutunuulire okukola obugoye obuyingira mu pilo oba buyite cushion covers. Kale nkusaba yonna gy'oli tokyusa remote yo era nsaba onneeyungeko ng'ate tutuukirira omukyalo omu akola obutto buno atuyigirize biki ebyetaagisa ate na biki bye wandisobodde okuba ng'ofuna mu kukola obutto buno. Nga ogenda okukola kushoni zino, tandika na kufuna byetaagisa omuli wuzi, empiso, patani, olugoye, ekyalaani nga kw'ogasse n'amasannyalaze.
Amanya gange nze Jocelyn Alinda, mpikolera wano ku National Arts and Cultural Craft Association of Uganda. Ndi member era ndi member wa Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association. Office zaffe ziri awo ku Marshall Grounds tulinamu ekizimbe kyaffe.
Kati nkyalani Alinda olwaleero ogenda tukolera ki?
Olwaleero mbakoledde gundi cushion cover era neeno ogiraba nadde ngimaliriza jjo ebulako neyabadde yakuteekako ziipu kyova olaba ekyali incomplete bweti naye nfuna obugoye n'embugatta obulina amabala n'obuli plain okugezaako okulaga ekintu ekitunula African because kino mba ndaba bw'otokigatta n'oleeta kino kyokka ndaba nga tekijjayo ekifaananyi kirungi ekya Africa.
Akakoye kano okakolera bbanga ki ddakiika mmeka?
Nsobola gamba bwe mba ntudde bulungi mu lunaku lumu nsobola kukolayo pillowcase nga 10 nga ndi omu because wabaako okusala n'okulaba nti ngatta bulungi nga ya line tezikyamye.
Buli pillowcase egulibwa ssente mmeka?
Pillowcase eno bwe bateriimu kintu ngitunda $1 gumu. Bwe nteekamu akatto eba egenda mu gumu kitundu.
Omuntu ng'ayagala okutandika okuzitunga yeetaaga ki?
Aba yeetaaga kufuna ewuzi, material n'ekyuma kino kye bayita ekyalaani. Bibiri ebyo ndaba byetaaga ekyalaani, material, olugoye n'ewuzi.
Alinda olunaku lwaleero yagenda okutuyigiriza engeri y'okukolamu obutto buno. Omutendera ogusooka osooka n'ofuna ekipimo ky'oyagala, tugeze okola obutto bwa ntebe, sooka opime obuwanvu bwayo, bw'omaliriza ekipimo kino kiteeke ku lugoye olwo olyoke ofune makansi yo osalemu awo awapimiddwa. Wano olukoba tolwerabira kubanga lwe lukuwa ekipimo ekirungi.
So I learned how to tailor during the COVID time, not with a teacher but on YouTube, and with all the efforts I had within me, I felt I could do something beyond sitting just in my shop. My first product was the face masks. I will show you what I did some time back. And I'm still doing through. Today I'm going to show you one other product I've ventured in. I'm also doing cushion covers. I'm doing curtains. So far that's where I am. And I would love to teach more people because tailoring is not a very difficult product. You can wake up and learn to do tailoring as a skill. and earn something rather than staying home, waiting and saying COVID. Yes, we all have gone through it. It did crush me at some point, but I want to say today I'm back on my feet. As I do this, I would like to share some little experience with Smart 24. Yeah, you visited me sometime back when I was at home through another team and asked a few questions. What am I doing? How am I doing it differently? And I told you I'm not doing much apart from thinking of my ideas and writing them down. But when you left, I felt challenged that how comes I had nothing to say about my products, about my work, because everything had been locked up within my shop because I had done the beadwork. I was talking about it just in words, not showing anybody that I can still do it. So for me, it was a challenge. I had to wake up and think otherwise. While I was on radio one day, in fact, that's how I came to do the tailoring. Somebody was mentioning that for her, she no longer is suffering. She's even employing other people, and she's doing face masks. This is a lady who was somewhere in the city outskirts, I would think even village. So she challenged me so much. She said, if this lady can employ people, how about me? So from there, I had to teach myself how to tailor, and that's how I did the face masks. Now I'm doing this, which is a cushion cover. I will explain a little bit how you can come up with a cushion cover. I have taken measurements of 18 by 18 square, but I intend to have this pillowcase 17 by 17 inches. I did 18 by 18 because we need to leave the space for the seam. And if we don't have to do overlock, then I'll have to roll it inside so that it has to look smarter than something which has not been done of the overlock. That's why I had to do that extra inch, and we shall keep it 18 inches square. So when you're doing your tailoring, you have to do it from the behind, because the inside looks better than the outside looks. The inside looks better than the outside looks better than the inside. So you have to be very critical, and you have to be very smart. I'm going to cut off some of these words because they usually don't look even nice for me. So where you find that it's not balancing, you will have to cut. You may find it not balancing for one big reason. Here we do not have a flat iron, that is one, and our cutting table is a bit limited, but we make sure we come out with a good product. So that's why you can see me doing this. One other thing about art, it keeps you alive, because I can see it is a healing therapy. To go into art is a healing therapy, and usually we have to use dark colors. Like here I would need black or this yellow, so I need to find a dark thread. But since this is a sample, I don't have black with me. Let me go with deep brown, though you will not be able to see it on the outside. However, I would recommend you use black or this white, but black would be the best on this kind of material. So it's always very important to see the color of the materials before you engage the threads you're going to use. Otherwise, when you just use any colors, your product doesn't come out nicely. You might take long to sell it and wonder why they are not buying it, but sometimes because of your own making, that you didn't take a lot of time and care That's why you find people are not buying your products. You should do your products nicely for people to appreciate them. So today we are going to do a pillow, or you could call it a cushion cover. I told you the size is 17 by 17, though we did 18 by 18 to leave an allowance. And this is the way you can put the thread. All this you can sit at home and teach yourself if you choose to do it. There's no rocket science, there's no English, though I'm speaking in English, but there's no rocket science to do tailoring. It's one of the skills I believe anybody can wake up and engage in and earn a living. This is how we do the wearing. Now for this machine, we wear from somewhere here, go backwards a bit. There are 3 holes on this machine. It's a manual machine. Anybody can use it, whether you are in the village or you are in town. So it's a multi-purpose machine. You don't need to wait for electricity. That means it's a cost-effective machine. And ever since I began using it, it was a second hand. But you can imagine, I think it's coming to almost a year without having challenges with this machine. So anybody can use the machine. It doesn't break down every time because of its quality. We have those which are not good quality. Sometimes every time you're calling somebody to come and work on it, and it becomes expensive. Yes, to me this was a bit expensive, but I won't say it was worth it. I got this machine at a little higher than 800. In fact, I got it at 920,000, complete as it is. And ever since I got it, I am not complaining. I do not take it every time. My friends tell me, no, my machine is down. I tell them mine is not. And the one who works on this machine does not charge you less than 20,000 per time he sees it. So you can imagine how much you would have saved by buying a better one than a cheaper one, which is around 200 or 250. And with tailoring, the most important thing is to maintain the lines. So if you can maintain the lines and keep them straight, you'll be good to go.
Buli muntu yenna asobola okuyiga omulimu gw'omutwe. Kino kisoboka ng'okozesezza emikutu egy'enjawulo. Okutunga si kizibu nga bwe tukirowooza. Ng'okomola, tandikira kusala awo w'opimye n'ennoni. Osala enjuyi zombi n'osobola okufunamu obugoye 2. Ekipimo kye tugenda okukozesa olunaku olwaleero ziri sentimita 18. We tutuukidde wano, tusanze omukyala ng'akola bupiro buno oba buyite cushion covers. Naye cushion covers zino zirina emitendera ate nno munange egy'enjawulo. Era ku ssaawa eno tumaze okukomola nga bw'otunuulira olugoye lwaffe tulukomoddedde ddala bulungi nnyo, era ng'ekiddako tugenda kuba tukutungira ka cushion cover kaveeyo olwo nno osobola okassa mu nnyumba yo ate nno nayo enyirire.
By clipping your clothes. Because when you don't clip it, sometimes it goes off and gets bent. All this we have learned through the hard international markets, which were quite expensive for me to attend. Sometimes I would make the money, and sometimes I would lose 100%. So it is both. So during this time, I've been learning a few things by myself, and I've reached an excellent whereby I took up a training in export readiness, which is very good for me now that I can afford to share this good moment with other people who have not gotten an opportunity to go for something like that. And for export readiness, I'll let you know that I happened to join this training through some of the organizations I subscribe with, like Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association gave me the opportunity to go into that training because I badly needed it, and I'd like to keep sharing it with other people to know the good and the bad when it comes to export readiness. Or when it comes to exporting, you have to be ready. You don't just wake up as I did and learn from the street. I learned from the streets, and it was quite expensive, which I wouldn't expect anybody. In fact, I wouldn't want anyone to try without testing the waters, without knowing what they are going into. Now, this part of it you're seeing I'm adding is supposed to be the flap, because we're not going to use to do a pillow with a zip. It also has to come in with the same size, 18 inches. And working at home for right now, when you can't afford rentals, is very important, and it is very good. And this is one of the skills which can help you to work from home and spend less, just in case you can't afford the rent. Because I can ably say rent in the city is very expensive. So if you think you cannot afford your rent, this is one of the skills you can take on. And here right now at the National Arts, we are training people into skilling different things, like the bracelets, necklaces, that is under jewelry, then the pottery, doing sandals, all those. So if you come here as a visitor or as a guest, you can also easily live as an artist and begin your own business.
Ng'otandika okutunga, weegendereza okulaba ng'olugoye olutungira ku bikukujju. Buli luuyi teekako ppini olugoye obutakutawaanya. Bw'oba otandika okutunga, sooka ofune wuzi enzikivu obutayita mu lugoye. Ku mutendera guno, tandika okutunga akatto kaffe era nga kiba kikulu nnyo, naddala ng'otunga okwegendereza n'okugoberera akasittale. Bwe tumala okutunga enjuyi essatu, tuddamu ne tupima okulaba ng'olugoye lwenkana era nga tulekawo akawakattirwa awanaateekebwa zipu. Just pull it down. This one side is supposed to be much longer than the other, so we can add on this piece so that it works as a flap, since we are not going to use plastic. So you can either keep one size longer or you just need to attach it. I will forward here.
need seam ripper. Here I use the seam ripper, which I don't have right now. I have to rip one side.
Ku mutendera guno tuddawo ku lugoye lwaffe ne tusalako akagoye akatono. Kano kasobola okukozesebwa mu kifo kya zipu. Era obeera olina okubeera n'ebipimo ebirungi, teweerabira kugoberera kasittale.
You need to come and join us as artists. Our membership is open anytime, and it's good to be our member. You learn a lot with us, and you can transfer the skill to your children so that when they are finishing school, they are not worried of jobs. Be coming out as job creators. Tailoring, it's good to even have a flat iron because it makes it easy for you to keep everything in line. Otherwise, without ironing, sometimes you find your seams made. The designer, they don't even want to hear that they are tailors. But still, it is the same thing. So you have to grow your passion for the work, the skill, then you can do much better. Then it is much easier to learn. So for me, within my head, I knew how to do it because I would do it with the mouth. Tell somebody, you know what, this one is wrong, do it like this, because I do much with African wear. One person who loves African wear. Somehow I had interest in it already. The other part of it grew within me. Okay. Don't know why it is breaking my throat. Maybe I've
Kano kasaleko n'obwegendereza era okagatte ku ke twasoose okutunga. Wano olondako oluuyi lumu ne lusukkuluma ku lunne waalwo. Awo bw'omala ng'okatungako.
I have to fold in to balance it so that I can put a seam. So that the threads stop appearing. You see. I have to fold in. That's why I have to fold in. Now that we do not have a flat iron, it is going to be a little bit difficult for us, but basically, so you can choose to put a zipper on top, or if you don't want a zipper, you do the flap. So depending on what the client wants, course, you have to agree that she needs a zipper or she needs just the flap. Sometimes it's easy to have the one with a flap instead of a zipper. It depends on what exactly you want. So basically, you need a flat iron to this part of it to come out with the best of our products. Turn it out so that I can have it balanced properly. So this goes in. So we're going in. So when you put in your pillow inside, this part here covers the pillow. Yeah. So basically, this is how whatever it's supposed to look like. I have to do the finishing here, but I needed to have it ironed to balance it properly. You just basically come out with the pillowcase like that. Yeah. Doing all the finishing. So when you have an electric machine, of course you have to do most of the things from home, but that electric machine shouldn't stop one from working. You can still use the manual machine.
Fundikira enjuyi zombi munda awo nno ne wuzi zisobole obutalabika. Bw'omaliriza akagoye kano kafuule kadde kungulu osikeyo ensonda zonna. Bw'oba olina paasi kagolole, naye bw'oba tolina kozesa engalo okukatereeza.
These materials are all over town and even here. So I collect some of them, depending on ones you want. I collect those, all those somebody can source. Even me, sometimes I don't. I source from far from here. Sometimes from within Kampala. Sometimes I import. Like there are some nice materials, which of course, if you want something different, you can import. Like from Tanzania, I do import some tie and dye because their tie and dye is quite different from us.
Nga kawedde komolako obuwuzi bwonna obusobola okukalabisa obubi. Ng'emirimu emirala naguno gulimu okusoomozebwa okw'enjawulo era arinda ayongedde n'asaba abantu bonna okusobola okuyiga eby'emikono nga batandika n'ekitono kye balina.
Baba bagamba nti ye naawe osedde nnyo wandibadde onkendeerezaako, naye ate nga nze mabalaga ntera okubeera nagaaga engoye zino ga buseere. Uganda tekola ngoye za bimulinga bwe tulaba, kati engoye zino engeri gye ziva wabweru w'ensi. So oluusi weesanga nga engoye nza buseere ate ngezaako okukolektinga engoye zendaba nti nnungi, naawe bw'okikubako amaaso ojja ddwegomba. So kwe kusoomozebwa kwentera okusanga omuntu okulowooza nti mba nkasedde n'atabala na budde ki bwemaze n'okubala nti obwongo, because art wa bwongo gamba nti kati kano bwena akakiika bwe nti kajja musanyusa. Ayinza okukakwata n'akateekako nga bw'ayagadde, naye nze nyinza nsalawo nengamba kati kano kankakiikemu, olaba wano wampi wano wagguluko, bwe kagaana oluusi n'entagulula nga tebinyumye. So ntwala obudde mwenteeka obwongo, mba ndaba njagala agula naye akirowoozeeko nti nkitwalidde obudde okukirowooza okukireeta mu maaso ge naye akyegombe. Kati kwe kusoomozebwa kwensinga okusanga okwo omuntu okulaba nti yaabala nti mu ddakiika 2 wandibadde okamaliriza.
Obubaka bw'obusembayo eri bonna abandyagadde obuyiga skill okubeerawo mu bulamu.
Obubaka bwange nandibadde nsaba abandyagadde okuyiga batutuukirire, buuza ugambe munange kano okamanyi nsobola okuyigiriza ne wootudde woobeera ku kyalo oyinza okwesanga waliwo omuntu amanyi bakuba kati nga nze okuyiga okutunga naye sirina kyalaani naye neiba yali akirina mukyala wa ku kyalo nakozesa empiso n'endaba engalo nga zinnuma mwana wange nangamba naye neiba wali abeera n'ekyalaani ngangamba mukyalo yo alina ekyalaani kakugamba kirungi nnyo okubuuza ate kirungi nnyo okufuba okuwagala okuyiga ate nawano ku senta wentudde tuyigiriza abatunzi tubasomesa abaagala n'okukola ebirala nabo tubasomesa kati ebirala nyinza okugamba nga bukomo bw'okumukono nga nekiresi ng'engatto ez'obutiiti kale ngamba wandibadde ofaayo nnyo wonna wooli otutuukirire otwebuuzeeko tulabe nga bwe tukwatagana osobole okuyiga.
Akagoye k'akatto nga temuli ppamba katundibwa 5,000 so nga ate ako akalimu ppamba katundibwa 1,000 n'ekitundu eza Uganda. Osobolera ddala okuyoola ensimbi ng'oyise mu kuyiga eby'emikono. Webale kutambula naffe okuviira ddala gye twatandikidde era nga bwe tuzze tulabye ebintu eby'enjawulo engeri y'okkomolamu ka cushion cover ko ate engeri y'okkatungamu era olwaleero kino kye tuggyeeyo wano ku SKILLUP. Gweno munnange eyandyetaaze okuba ng'oyiga ebintu eby'enjawulo bwe biti tutuukirire ku Smart 24 TV Uganda oba osobola otugoberera ku Facebook, ku Twitter oba ne ku YouTube ng'osubiddwa emboozi eno ate osobola n'otukubira ku nnamba y'essimu eyitawo wansi awo ne tubeera nno nga munnaye tukutusaako abantu ab'enjawulo bwe bati naawe nno gy'oli oyinza okuba ng'olina bizinesi ez'enjawulo ng'oyagala kutulaga kiki ky'okola tujja kuba tukutuukako ate era tusobole okusomesa eggwanga anti munnange buli omu yandyetaaze okubeerako n'akasimbi mu nsawo atakumira mpeera abankumire tusisinkane ate olunaku olw'enkya mubeere bulungi.